All right, so let's talk about using our formula for the sum of an arithmetic sequence, or we said arithmetic series, right? Is another way to say that. So let's take a look at the formula. We saw in the last video where this formula came from. And of course, what do these ones stand for? A sub 1 stands for our first term. A sub n stands for the last term that we want to sum up to. And n, of course, is the number of terms. And S of n is the sum up to that number of terms. Okay, so let's just take a look. We'll actually write this one in our sigma notation. So we'll pick an arithmetic sequence, and how do I know that it's arithmetic? If it's a linear equation or a linear relation, then I know that it's going to be arithmetic. So this one, when I look at it, I know right away it's going to be arithmetic. I know that it's one that I'm going to be able to use this equation for. But let's just take a look at it before we jump into this formula. Let's just remind ourselves what this means. This means take each of these, take this formula and plug a 1 in, a 2 in, a 3 in. So you're plugging this term number in all the way up to whatever this term number is. And we happen to be using a 3 to keep it kind of small for our example. So this would be the first term in the sequence. Our first term would be a 5. Our second term would be a 6, 7, 8. And our third term would be, I have to stop talking for a second while I write, so I'll mess up the numbers. This will be 9, 10, 11, right? So it's really adding up these numbers. So of course, what is this? It's 19 plus 5, so that is of course a 24. Okay, so the same way that I could have just added them together, since it was only 3 of them, it was pretty simple. The other way that I could have done this, I could have said the sum up to the third term is the number of terms. So we're doing 3. I'm going to divide that by 2. And our first term, so what did I need to know to be able to figure this one out? I needed to know the first term, which happened to be a 5. And I needed to know a sub n, or a sub 3 in this case, which is an 11, and add them together. So this is going to be 3 over 2 times 16, or in other words, 16 divided by 2 is 8, so 3 times 8, or 24. Okay, so we didn't prove anything here. We just kind of did a convince yourself to see, oh yeah, the formula really does seem to work. And we did the proof in the other section. So let's take a look. I think that that's pretty simple, right? Or if they said a sub 1 is 6 and a sub 7 is, I don't know, 28, and they said that it's an arithmetic sequence, find the sum of the first 7 terms. Of course, what would we do? The sum up to the 7th term would be, well, how many terms are we going to be doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So we actually have 7. It's not 6, it's 7 terms. So 7 over 2, it would be 6 plus 28. So what's that? 15? No, 14. What am I talking about? 34. Should have picked one that came out real easy to do. And this is going to be a 1, a 17, whatever 7 times 17 is. And there you have it. Okay? So, pretty simple to use. Now, the trouble